What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. This is the Hot Tape Podcast with your host, Stefan Todorovich, myself. Today, I am going to be discussing a very controversial topic. You may agree, you may disagree, but I see it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and ESPN, and it's all over the place. It's the NBA MVP discussion. You know where I'm going with this, and I want you to be objective. But first, I'm going to talk about one thing that bothers me. It's totals. But what I mean by that is in the NFL, in the MLB, and NHL, and every other sport on the planet, we use totals, okay? Total yards, total touchdowns, total goals scored. You know, when you're talking who's better, Messi or Ronaldo, first thing people say is, well, who has the more goals? Is it Messi or is it Ronaldo? Who's better, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Well, who has more passing yards? Who has more completions? Who has more touchdowns? Things like that. But in the NBA, we want to use averages. What's your average, bro? How many points a game does he average? Really? Why aren't we using totals like we do with every single other sport? Don't try to be intellectually dishonest with this, okay? You told me that Carson Wentz was not the MVP because Tom Brady had more passing yards, had more completions. You know, we went by the totals, remember? We didn't say how many average yards does he have per game, how many average touchdowns does he have per game. If we did that, Carson Wentz would have been the MVP if we just go off averages. You told me that the reason Carson didn't win the MVP was because he missed games. He missed time. He didn't have as many yards, touchdowns, completions, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a blind resume of two guys. They're both MVP candidates. I'm just going to call them player one and player two, and you tell me who you would take. I'm not going to give you the names yet, okay? So take a step back wherever you are, at home, in your car, on Facebook, on YouTube. Take a step back and just listen to the numbers, and then you decide. So player one and player two. Player one has a total of 2,251 points, so 2,251. Player 2 has a total of 2,191 points, okay? Player 1 has a total of 747 assists, 747. Player 2 has 630. Player 1 has 709 rebounds, and player 2 has 389 rebounds. Just listen to me closely here. Player 1 and player 2 shoot the exact same percentage from three-point land, 36.7. Player 1 shoots 54% from the field, and player 2 shoots 44%. So right now, player 1 has pretty much won it. No, not pretty much, has won every category. Okay? Player 1 has played 82 games, and player 2 has played 72 games. I once again advantage player 1. So you tell me who you're taking, player 1 or player 2. Don't try to outsmart the room here. Don't try to be intellectually dishonest. Player 1 or player 2. Answer that in your mind right now. Every single one of you took player 1. And if you didn't, you're being dishonest. You're being dishonest with me, yourself, and whoever else. It's ridiculous. Player 1 is LeBron James. Player 2 is James Harden. All year, you told me, this is James Harden Award, and James Harden deserves it. He got snubbed 3 years in a row, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. James Harden averages more points. But what's his total? He doesn't have a total of more points. You told me Carson Wentz was not the MVP because his totals were not as good as Brady, because he missed games. James Harden missed games. He missed 10. LeBron played every game. LeBron had more points, more assists, more rebounds. Come on, guys. Don't try to outsmart the room. Don't be intellectually dishonest. If you're taking James Harden, you're being dishonest. You are. But Stefan, the step back three, and Harden's a better shooter in D'Antoni's system. Better shooter, shoot the same percentage from three, and LeBron is makes over half his shots from the floor. James Harden can't even make half his shots. He's shooting 44% in D'Antoni's system. LeBron is the MVP, and we all have LeBron fatigue. Let's just be honest, guys. Last year, you told me Russell Westbrook was the MVP because he averaged a triple-double. Guess what? He averaged a triple-double again. No one's talking about him. According to NBA.com, Russell Westbrook is 7th in the MVP race. 7th? He averaged a triple-double again, which no one's ever done for 2 years in a row, and nobody blinked an eye. You want to crown James Harden. You do. And I totally get that. You're tired of LeBron. He's the face of the league. He's been the face of the league for the last 10 years. He's hands down the best player still, and all the numbers show it. It's time to stop drinking the James Harden Kool-Aid. It's time to stop. Come on, guys. We're all tired of LeBron. I get that. He's in the finals every year, and you want to reformat the playoff system just because of him. This is all because of LeBron. Well, guess what? It's also because of LeBron that we have this amazing competitive league and the player movement that he's created and player mobility and things of that nature. But if you're telling me a guy that has less points, less rebounds, less assists, shoots a worse percentage from the field is more quote-unquote valuable, you're just lying to yourself. I don't understand why everybody's crowning James Harden as this clear-cut MVP winner. He has less amount of win shares than LeBron. That means he's responsible on a per-game basis for less wins than LeBron. For example, his team, and it's a regular season award, so don't get me wrong, I'm not including the playoffs in this, but his team, James Harden's team, won by 20 points, and James shot 2 for 18 for the field. If LeBron James shoots 2 for 18 at any point during that Pacers series, they lose that game. That series. James Harden's team won by 20 against a team that had 3 All-Stars. They had 3 All-Stars and they lost. They won by 20, and James Harden shot 2 for 18 from the field. Clearly, he has a better team. So you're telling me a guy who has less points, less rebounds, less assists, shoots a worse percentage from the field, has a better team, has a Hall of Fame point guard playing with him in Chris Paul, and a Hall of Fame offensive-minded head coach is more valuable than a guy that's playing with Rodney Hood and George Hill, carrying them, about to take them to another Eastern Conference run? Come on. I understand, guys. The LeBron fatigue is real. I get it. You guys are tired of it, and you could give him the award every year. And you should. And this proves my point, because last year you said, nobody else can get it. It's Russell Westbrook's award because he's averaging a triple-double, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, he averaged one this year, and you're not talking about him. No one is even mentioning him. At the beginning of the year, it's Greek Freak and LeBron, and then Harden and LeBron, and Harden is supposedly going to be the clear-cut winner, but I just don't understand that. I don't understand, why people want to be dishonest with themselves. And I get it, LeBron had a bad January, but he played every game. A lot of people are saying Chris Paul is not going to be a All-NBA first, second, or third team because he missed 18 games. So he missed time. So that kind of hurts him. Why isn't it hurting James Harden? I know it's 10 games, but LeBron didn't miss any. So I understand this whole narrative with Harden, and people think that he deserves it because he got snubbed the past 3 years, but that's not part of the criteria. LeBron is more valuable to his team. When James Harden's off the court, his team is at a plus. They are at a plus, so they're still winning when Harden's off the court. Come on. It's crazy. It's crazy. LeBron's team, LeBron can't even sit out for 5 minutes without them going into a minus. He's responsible for more win shares. He has a much worse team. And he doesn't, put LeBron in that system with D'Antoni. My goodness, what would they do? What kind of damage would be done? It'd be unbelievable. So that's my whole point on that, is Harden has a better team, better coach, and still has less points, less assists, less rebounds, missed time, and LeBron's over here doing LeBron just like he does every year, carrying the team, going to take him through another Eastern Conference run by himself. And just ask yourself this: Does Cleveland sweep Toronto if James Harden's playing? Let's say they switch roles. You get Harden and LeBron swapped roles. I don't know if they even beat the Pacers. I don't even know if they beat the Pacers with James Harden, let alone sweep Toronto. So ask yourself that, before you crown James Harden the MVP. If the roles were switched, what seed would James Harden be in the East? Probably the 7th, 6th maybe the 8th. I mean, he didn't really flourish like this until he got D'Antoni, which is fine. That's completely fine, and I'm kind of getting away from the point here. But overall, I mean, just ask yourself. Just think and ask yourself these questions. I mean, in my eyes, it's not even close. It's a shame that LeBron's not going to get it. But it is what it is. I mean, if he does get it, it'd be amazing. I don't think it'll happen. Like I said, LeBron fatigue. Every year we think of a new excuse why he shouldn't get it. Last year was the Westbrook triple-double excuse. This year it's the James Harden excuse, I guess. I mean, it doesn't even make sense, but okay. That's why I'm tired of these totals. I'm tired of these averages and not using totals. Use totals. Total points, rebounds, assists, just like every other sport. But no, NBA, what's your average, bro? What do you average? So we'll see how it all folds out. We'll see. The award will be given out, I think, next month. So it'll be interesting. But you know what? My MVP is LeBron. If I had a vote, obviously I don't. I'd be picking LeBron. But I would like to let you guys know that this show is sponsored by Jason's Cleaners. It's a local cleaning company here in Des Moines, Iowa. 515-669-8908. 20% off if you mention my name at the time of purchase. You can clean homes, apartments, barbershops, businesses, whatever you got, they clean it. Jason's Cleaners, 20% off if you mention the hot take. Thanks for listening, guys. Till next time.